Good afternoon. I'm Carrie Bachman, and I'm here visiting with my friend Arif Khan, President and CEO of TCG Consulting. Arif, you're based here in Las Cruces, New Mexico, but you lead an international firm that
Yes.
does management consulting and business development. Arif, what types of clients and what size businesses do you work with?
We tend to focus on just medium to small to medium-sized businesses. So our niche is basically in that from 5 to 10 million to up to $100 million a year revenue.
What do you think sets you apart from other business development and management consulting firms?
I suppose it's a personal thing. The way that I look at, the business, or the way I look at my clients, and it has evolved over the years as I have seen the kind of work that I was doing and what I was doing. After working with a lot of different companies in different roles, and ended up being in a consulting company, a large consulting company. And what I found out quickly, that I wasn't really doing consulting work. I was a glorified salesperson for that particular company. Whatever software they had, whatever solution they had, that's what we put in. Whether that fit or not, it didn't really matter, because that was what we were doing. So I became very disillusioned with that, and in 1993 I decided to create TCG. It started out as the Catalyst Group, and to focus on really doing consulting work. To me, consultation is really being a confidant, somebody that the client can be honest, be really focused on what they need, and the consultant is really looking out for their benefit, and not necessarily just marketing the product. So that's really the difference. Our focus is really more on giving than trying to take. And in that capacity, what happens is that when you start to think that way, things change. So that's what our focus is. That's what really key difference if you will look at any other consulting company.
Or if you like to talk about getting to the root causes of businesses' challenges, how do you go about doing that?
Well, there is a process. First of all, you have to understand that there are certain fundamental things that the businesses should have in place in order for them to function. And that really is, like Vince Lombardi. I use him once in a while in my explanations. When he took over Green Bay Packers, that team was team was working. They were playing games and everything else. And the first day he walked into the locker room, he had a football in his hand. He says, "Gentlemen, this is a football." And he started out from the very, very basic function to understanding that. And from that, because he focused on the fundamentals, because he focused on the key ingredients of what makes a good football team, within the first season, he took him to the Super Bowl. And that's exactly what we do. We focus on the fundamentals. There are 6 key issues that we talk about that we instill in our clients, and we focus on those things before anything else. And if we get those 6 pieces in place, then the whole puzzle kind of falls into place.
So if someone is interested in working with you, what steps should they take?
Number 1 is the desire to understand that their business needs help. One of the biggest challenges I have with business owners is that they don't recognize the fact that they need help. That's number 1. Number 2 is the willingness and ability to say, okay, yes, I do need help, and I want somebody to come help me, and I'm willing to do the work that is going to require to do that. Working with me is very, very simple. Really, is not that doesn't require a whole lot of things. You have a conversation just like you and I are having a conversation. I'll sit down with the client, and we do basically is a assessment. To say there's a questionnaire that I have developed over the years, and I ask questions, and I think I gave it to you.
Indeed.
I gave it to you to answer some of the questions for your business as well. And that gives us a baseline to say, okay, on a scale of 0 to 100, your business is at about, let's say, 30% or 40%, whatever that case may be. And then we decide, okay, if this is what you're doing at this percentage, what would happen to your business if we take it to, let's say, 60% or 70% or 80%? What would be the results of that? And it's very easy to then make a decision. Do we want to go there first? And once we have that decision, Then we put down a game plan. Okay, this is what we need to do to make it go from here to there.
It sounds really very much like a partnership.
It is. It is partnership because I believe that that's my function as a confidant, as a consultant. I mean, if you look at it seems what has happened over the years, everybody is a consultant, everybody is doing consulting work. And what I find is that's not really consultation, it's just contract work. You know, there's a lot of contractors who say, okay, what do you want me to do? And you say, okay, go do that. And that's not consultation. To me, consultation is really getting to know you, understand exactly what it is that drives you, why you're in business, what's your purpose, what is exactly that you want to accomplish. And then those things, once I know those things, then I can guide you properly to say, okay, in order for us to accomplish that, these are the things that we need to do.
Arif, I really appreciate the opportunity to visit with you and to learn more about TCG Consulting.
I appreciate you taking the time to ask me questions. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.